Hey YouTube, how you doing? On this episode, this is Real Talk. In this episode, I want to talk about the artists bleaching their skin and trying to change who they are. You know, trying to supposedly improve themselves for whatever reason. And we want to look at God's work versus, i.e., man, i.e., the devil's work. So we're going to take a look at a few pictures here, and let's see who does better work, okay? So let's get started. Okay, Jessica Alba. Okay, on the left, that looks like when she was young, and she was still brand new out of the baby factory. She must have been right there, I would say, I don't know, 16, 17, something. And she looks fairly brand new. Everything looks normal. Now you look at the right side and look at her eyes. She's not all the way gone, but you know, you can tell that some of the life or the God force has been sucked out of her somewhat. I think this was the teeth thing. I think this is where they were showing how she got better teeth or something. You know, but I'm gonna bring your guys' attention to the eyes. Even though they're smiling, like look at the left picture. She's smiling, but she doesn't have like that ugly, evil type look in her eyeballs, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. And on the right side, she's not all the way evil, but there's definitely something like not cool with her. She's a beautiful girl, beautiful woman, but we're not talking about beauty. We're talking about good versus evil. Little Kim. Okay, she started off as a thin black girl that looked kind of sad on the left side there, but that's God's work. Now, maybe she was in some type of poverty or, you know, personal troubles, whatever, but still, she looks normal. Looks kind of mean and mad in this picture. And look what she turned herself into. You know, because everything that happens to us is by our consent. They just don't do stuff to you. You consent to it in some way or in some form. By law, they can't just do stuff to you. You have to consent. And now she looks like, I don't know what the heck she looks like now. She doesn't look nice. You know, fake hair, you know, big giant lips. I don't know what happened to her chin. Kind of looked like a plastic Barbie doll of some sorts. Why? Because she's touching them doctors to cut her open and keep cutting on her. I don't know. Sorry, little Kim. Nicki Minaj. Okay, look at the left side. That's God's work. Pretty, nice smile, dimples, and look at her eyes. See, there's still the God force in her eyes. Look on the left side. You know, she look like she's a zombie. You know, no type of expression on the face, and look at the eyeballs. Doesn't necessarily look evil because, you know, she has the bangs, you know, over her face, but she has no expression. She has like a blank expression, like there's nothing there. So that could mean two things. You know, a lot of people say that they're cloning. They got the cloning labs, and this could be a clone, or a lot of people say robotoids, and I'm not going to get into all that because, you know, unless you got first-hand knowledge of that stuff, that's kind of far-fetched. Could be real, but that's a separate video. But look how she has life in the left picture, God's work, versus i.e. man, i.e. the devil's work, and there's no life. He's dead. Now, where this picture came from, I don't know. Maybe it was publicity. I don't know, who knows. But anyway. Beyonce. Okay. Now, this one is a straight witch. Look at the left picture. She must have been younger. She looks like fairly young, she still had some goodness in her. She still had them eyebrows, though. But she still had some goodness in her. I think this was her nose one, where she changed her nose. But look at the left picture. I mean, look at the left is God's work. The right is Satan's work. Look at the eyeballs. Even though she's looking straight at the lens, they look demonic. Even though she's smiling. Even though she's smiling, there's a demonic, evil look in the eyeballs. Look at the eyeballs. Now, I mean, if I'm tripping, then y'all need to comment downstairs on the comment section and say, Sasuke, you're tripping, but, you know, real talk. That's like, whatever. But I'm not tripping. I see an evil witch eyebrows, eye look with a smile. And the smile is there to throw you off because she's fine. You know, but what good is her fine if she's a witch? I mean, what good is that? That ain't no good. Right? Unless you like that sort of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Jennifer Aniston. Okay? Left. God side. Normal. Look at her nose. It was the God issue nose. You know, a little chubby there. You know. But look at her eyes. She had like a cute little smile. You know, regular look to her. You know, like she just came out of high school or whatever. You know. Look at the right side, the devil's side. She has like this mindless look to her face. Why are all these stars got a mindless look to them? Like there's no type of soul there. It's just mindless. Could it be the MK Ultra stuff that we hear about? Could it be Disney programming them in the underground caverns? Could it be that this is a clone? It could be a lot of those stuffs, but like I say, without first-hand knowledge and proof, which I'm not going to bother to go dig up. I'm sure I can find it if I look hard enough, but I'm not going to do that. But she had just like this mindless look to her. Look, it's right there. You know, the God issue, normal. The devil issue, mindless. Why? Coincidence? Okay, well, no. Could be. I don't think so. That's just my opinion, but Nicole Kidman, again, right side, you know, she's got the curly hair, the curly red, you know, American fro hair. But, you know, even though her eyeballs are looking the other way, she doesn't have like that devious look to her. That's the God issue, left side. Right issue, devil side. Look at that evil look. Look at the eyebrows. Look at the eyeballs. She has like a little, you know, smile on her, but she looks like a witch. You know, evil eyes. Okay, Mikey Box. Mikey Box, when he had that bell pepper nose, as Cat Williams would say. If he breathed, everybody in the room would suffocate from the lack of air. Okay, Mikey Box, may he rest in peace. This is when he was still somewhat normal, because he had that God issue nose. And needless to say, we all knew what happened to him over time. How his face started to disintegrate, and he looked like he had doll hair. And I guess the doll hair was from the burning, you know, when he got into that accident. So we all know what happened to Mikey there, so may that dude rest in peace. Angelina Jolie. Okay. Left side, she still looks kind of demonish there, you know, but she looks a little bit more natural. She doesn't look as washed out, as flushed. You know, could be makeup, you know, I don't know. But she looks more natural there. And the right side devil issue, another one. Blank stare. Like nothing, like nobody's home. Like nobody's home. The eyeballs is popped out and everything, and you know they're looking, but it doesn't look like nobody's home. You know, why are these stars picture after picture after picture? Nobody seems to be home. Okay, Whitney. Well, in her case, we already know what happened with her. I mean, she was just too far gone. I remember her on the right God side, I remember when she looked that way. She was beautiful, beautiful black woman. You know, when she was singing for God, you know, she was full of life. Look at her eyes. Look at her smile. Everything beautiful. See, and she rest in peace. And then on the left, that's, you know, when the devil got her. You know, they sucked her into that lifestyle, and they cracked. You know, they turned her out, and then ultimately murdered her. You know, they used her up, and then they threw her away, sucked her up, which was a tragedy. You know, I'm sorry, you know, to all the Whitney Houston fans and the Whitney and her family. I'm sorry for your loss. You know, it's terrible. Scarlett Johansson, okay, on the left, God side, that's God issue, with her nice little teddy bear, her little polar bear. She must have been like a little kid in the left picture. She must have been all about 12, 13 years old, right about there. But see, you know, she has a nice look about her, smile, you know, just regular, you know, whatever. Okay, now we look at the left side, and now she's got them all popped out in your face. I think this was a nose job. So the left side was God issue. She had a whiter nose, and then she went and did her nose. So this was a nose job photo. But, you know, now she's not looking at the camera, so you can't tell. But, you know, just the mere fact that she's got them all in your face, all popped out there. You know, you're not to look at them, just like Dave Chappelle says. You know, you're not supposed to say nothing, but they're going to pop them out in your face. But you're not supposed to say nothing. And by the way, that's not good. That's against God's law there, too. You're not supposed to be dressing that way. Okay. Janet Jackson. Well, in her case, since she was part of the Jackson and they were hoeing out the Jacksons from the gate since they was kids, I would suspect, because she has like a little evil look in this picture here, even though she was younger. This would have been around the Good Times, Different Strokes era, because I remember, you know, she had this look back then, but she still has like that evil look in her eye. You could see it already, but she's more natural though. This has still got, you know, she hadn't changed herself, and now look at her on the left side. So in her case, it's a little bit different, and you can see, you know, I think she did her nose. This is the nose picture. But, you know, even Tupac said that she was just not real. She was just toe up when they did Poetic Justice. He thought they were cool. And then she even forced them to get an AIDS test because they were going to have like a love thing or whatever. And that stuff is online if you want to look it up. Lark Varias. Now, this is a tragedy right here, man. I was a big Lark Varias fan back before I knew that I wasn't supposed to be having idols or whatever. You know, this was a beautiful, beautiful little girl, now a woman. And that's God's issue right there. But even in this picture, you know, you can just look at the expression in her face, like, you know, I don't know, it didn't look like she was too happy when she was taking this photo, but she was beautiful. And she looks really natural except for, the lipstick, maybe? Look at her eyebrows, everything looks natural. And on the devil side, that's God's issue. This is devil issue. What happened? You know, what did she do to herself? You know, who knows? I mean, there was stories about her, you know, drinking, and then she wrote like a book, and it was just like she's not all there. And I'm not sure, you know, what the backstory is, so I haven't researched it, but she obviously damaged herself, and it's a real shame, man. I mean, she was very, very beautiful. You know, I feel sorry for her. I'll be praying for you, Lark. You know, you definitely need it. Rachael Ray. Now, Mrs. Cooking, what's her face? Mrs. Cooking Network. Well, Food Network. You know, it looked like she, on the right side, she had like a devilish look. I think that was when the Food Network already had her under their wing, but she still had her, you know, the original God issue everything, I think. So maybe for the eyebrows or stuff like that. But look at her lips on the right side. What happened? What did they do to you, man? And she has like some kind of weird face thing going on there. That's not nice. You know, she still has, some natural stuff looking, but they tore your face up. Now you got to forever live with that, whatever that is. Sorry, Rachel, they messed you up. And that's the one thing that you guys got to realize, that once you go to these doctors, oops, sorry, that's all they're going to tell you, because you signed the consent forms. When you sign all that paperwork, you're signing consent forms, and they'll carve you open. And if they make a mistake, oops, sorry, you can't sue me. And even if you did sue them, what you gonna gain? You still look that way. Now this chick right here, I don't even know who she is. I know you guys are gonna know, but I don't. But look, at one point she was attractive looking. I mean, even though she was at this point on the left, she was already like carved up somewhat, I think. And then look at the right side. I mean, she just gone. I think this is Versace or something, or I forget. I had heard about this one from a while back, but what is up with that? Look at the man. I would be really, 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 really sad to have to wake up to that face every day, knowing that I did it to myself. I think she's like real super rich, Versace or something like that. She's over there with all that, but see, all that homophobic, all that homo stuff, living in that lifestyle. I mean, it's just not natural. Look what they did to her face, and she has to wake up with that thing every day. Terrible. I don't even know who this vato is. But on the left side, we have the God issue, when he's normal. Normal skin, normal everything, whatever. And this is the skin bleaching one, where he decided that, he didn't want to be a black dude anymore. So he wants to go and lighten up his pigmentation, because apparently that's going to help him out, I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. On the left, we have the devil thing, where he goes and lightens up his, skin, trying to be a white dude or something. I don't know. Now, I personally think, even though I don't know this guy's name, but I personally think that's a mistake. But hey, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what he thinks. And here's the funny part, that the devil didn't do that to him. He did that to him. He did that to himself. He had to have consented to this transformation here. No one forced him. He brought that upon himself. Okay? So, needless to say that that's what's going on now. That is what's going on as far as, look at this thing here. That's what's going on as far as, I don't know. It's just amazing to me how people go and consent to those type of things. So every time, people are trying to change themselves, they have to consent. That's, when they're signing the forms. And no one did that to any one of those stars, supposedly. They did that to themselves. And there was a bunch of other ones, but, I could be here all day. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is, like, you should be happy with who you are. God doesn't make mistakes. Now, if you're overweight, or, if, there's those things you can control, but your features, even your teeth, if they fall out, you can go to the dentist and get your teeth put back in, or, You know, that's about the most cosmetic surgery that I'll ever endure, is like maybe some implants or something like that, which is what I'm dealing with now, you know, now that I'm older. But to go and start changing pigment color and noses and you know, this and that, no, man. I mean, first off, you're paying a lot of money for that to be done. And second of all, you're basically a guinea pig. And if they make any mistakes, it's the oops, I'm sorry. That's all you're going to get. Even if you sued and won, how are you going to get your appearance back? And then don't get me started on when you're taking things off and putting things on, like making, you know, penises and taking them off and trying to make it into a vagina, and now you are completely destroying yourself. Man, look at the evilness that you're doing to yourself. See, the devil ain't even doing it. He's just coaxing you to do it. And you're like, yeah, that's a good idea. Really? Out of all them pictures, when it was a God issue, look how beautiful those women are. Some were chubby or whatever, but it didn't matter. They were natural. They looked beautiful, you know, when God did it. And look at how terrible and messed up they look when the devil stepped in, i.e. themselves. I don't know. All I know is that I wouldn't do that to myself. I'm happy with who I am, and peer pressure is something else. And I'm glad I didn't realize this until just recent. I'm glad I have elephantitis of the nuts. I'm glad that when I take out the left one and se pegan ahí en el suelo, and it's dragging. Sparks be flying and everything, bro. Leaving nut tracks in the sand. And I'm glad that's there. Because I'm not going to do nothing when I don't want to. And these vatos have been chasing me since I was a kid. Now, I didn't even realize that until just the last couple, 2-3 years. But I've always been able to escape their little, maneuvers, I guess, or whatever. The fact that I'm hecka stubborn and hard-headed and got balls the size of whatever, that also helps too. Because, you know, I refuse to let anybody convince me to go against the Holy Bible. Excuse my language. I know it doesn't kind of go, so if I offend anybody, I don't mean to. Sorry. Specifically, Jesus Christ. But that's why I stay true to who I am. And one last final thought for everybody out there. A little off topic, but kind of reflects. I noticed in some of those pictures, it seemed like the black folks was trying to turn themselves into white folks. And I see that as like a race thing. Well, I got a question for you. If God made everybody the same, I mean, if our Holy Father in heaven, God himself, created heaven and earth and man, and he made black, white, not white, but European, Asian, Indian, you know, on and on and on. He made all the different races. He made everybody. So my question is this: how is God racist? And the simple answer is that he's not. So if God is not racist, and we see all this racism, then where is that racism coming from? Oh yeah, that thing called Satan. That's where it's coming from. Okay? So, when you're practicing your racism, you're actually practicing Satanism. Because God is not racist. Everybody's important to Jesus Christ. Everybody. Every single man, woman, and child on this planet is important to him. And that's the reason why I make these videos. Just to kind of encourage those that may want to come to our side and may want to, you know, start asking questions and stuff, and maybe I can help you. I'm not a preacher. I haven't been trained or nothing. The only thing I know is that I'm a sinner that I've given my life to Christ, and I'm trying the best I can to follow his 10 commandments and the 2 in the New Testament. That's it. And I'm not a preacher, and I'm not not going to beat you over the head with the Bible. And hey, man, I'm not going to do that because I don't like it done to me, so I'm not going to do it to others. Anyway, this is real talk. I just wanted to make this short video and see what you guys think about when God issues man versus when man or the devil does the issuing or makes the changes. Who's better at it, God or Satan? I already know the answer. That's a rhetorical question, but if you guys have any comments, leave them in the comments section. Anyway, this is real talk. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off this thing, and I'll catch up with you guys next time.